Peace, y'all. Appreciate whoever checks out this stream, whoever's gonna check it out later. I mean, this is mainly just for my sanity because I love talking and getting it out. And if I don't talk and get it out, then I will be stuck thinking about it. So we're gonna do some music reviews. You know what I mean? I'm gonna do this first song. Actually, I know the first song I'm gonna do. K3. Pretty sure a lot of y'all have heard her by now. K3. And if you don't, I will put you on a YB that's fire. A YG? A YG. Or a YN that's fire? The YN. I just found out what the term YN means. Y'all know it stands for young N word? I thought it meant youngin'. You know what I mean? Like, why? Youngin'? You know what I mean? Like, all right, anyway. Let's run this video. Run it back.
Yeah, bitch, come outside, we on your block. I got 50 bullets in this clip, they all aimed at your top. Can't keep my name up out her mouth, it's like she dying to be my op. Keep on yapping like you bout that, I'm gon' show you that you know how my name K3. I step on shit, if you ain't no bitch, now you know. Don't act surprised when you get hit, I tell twin bitch, you hit gon' blow. You ran through, we cannot argue, I'm a princess, you a hoe. Pretty bitch, but shit get violent, like to see blood hit the floor.
Hold on. Let me run that back. That was fire to start. Man. I like how, she had all the girls out there. Her girls, they all had different weapons and shit. It's called Miss Crash Out. She said, pretty bitch, I'm a princess, you a hoe. That shit was funny. All right, let's see what else she got. Let's run this first verse. Probably only got one verse. Let's run this verse.
Yeah, okay, who gon' get shot today? I be crashing out, don't come around me. Bitch, it is not safe. Get mad for having homicidal thoughts. This shit is not okay. I be fly, yo ho still shop at Shein. That bitch so fucking lame. Ugh. Ha, yo bitch a fucking loser. I be in some fast shit, she be running around in a PT Cruiser. I kick in your door, take all your funds like a fucking intruder. My face good, he passed me that knot, call me his pretty shooter. My name K3, I step on shit, if you ain't no bitch, now you know. Don't act surprised when you get hit, I tell twin bitch, he gon' blow. You ran through, we cannot argue, I'm a princess, you a hoe. Pretty bitch, but shit get violent, like to see blood hit the floor.
I ain't gonna lie, I like the verse too. I like the verse. He said, riding around in the PT Cruiser. I be in some fast shit. You just riding around in the PT Cruiser. That was fire. I like that.
K3, I step on shit. If you ain't no bitch, now you know. Don't act surprised when you get hit. I tell twin bitch, he gon' blow. You ran through, we cannot argue. I'm a princess, you a hoe. Pretty bitch, but shit get violent. Like to see blood hit the floor.
Okay, that was dope. Let's see, she got all her girls at the end. You know what I mean? I guess she need them glasses to see. I wonder what she look like without them glasses. But she ain't ugly, so she's probably pretty without them glasses too. Probably prettier. But yeah, man. See all her girls out there. They all got some type of weapon and shit. Like it's the Purge or some shit. They should have had some mask or some blood on that shit. Like it was the Purge. That'd have been dope. But this is fire though. I can't say this wasn't fire. All right, let's see. Let's see what else we gonna look at. Oh, new artist. He probably not a new artist, but I heard of him recently. And he just dropped his video for the fans. All right, so K-Go Gotti, I heard of this artist because he was doing some type of talent show or something like that, and he dropped a freestyle on this track that we got to listen to right now, and they never cleared it. Like, you could barely find it on any type of tunes. You would have to go search it up on YouTube, and somebody would happen to have it. And if they start talking, then you have to try to fast forward it. But anyway, that freestyle was fire. Shut it down. I don't know if he won because I had to stop watching it after he left. But he just dropped the freestyle, and it was like, and he started to walk out, and it was like, yo, we got prize money. He was like, I just came here to rap. Yeah, so I thought that was dope, man. He just wanted to get the exposure. So that's fire. And I respect that, man. You know, he's like, fuck all the prize money. I'm just getting the exposure. And then with this, he got some exposure. So I'm gonna let the video play. And it's fire to me. Yeah.
Find your dreams come true.
And when that rap shit on it, bitch, I'm burning that grandson to hop out with a handgun. Common sense ain't need so common, niggas don't understand none. They don't wanna see me score, but I'm still shooting and ain't trying to do no debate about who the floor to go. I am one.
Hold on, I gotta run that back. I don't know why it's messing up, but it was fire. It always start off fire. I gotta run that back.
Find your dreams come true.
What's going on with this today?
That rap shit on it. Bitch, I'm burning that grandson to hop out with a handgun. Common sense ain't need so common, niggas don't understand none. They don't wanna see me score, but I'm still shooting and ain't trying to do no debate about who the floor to go. I am one. My power play down there, I will wait, sir. I'm coming over. By that cheese, you know I go to distance like Rocky Balboa. Ain't trying to sit and tell you what I'm gonna do. I'd rather just come and show you. I'm past the age that my big brother died, so technically I'm older. I ain't never ran no train. Them niggas know that they can't fall with me. I ain't from Ukraine, it's gonna be war. You think about rushing me?
I ain't from Ukraine, it's gonna be war. You think about rushing me? It's fire. And they said, common sense ain't even common. Niggas don't understand none. He said, I'm past the age that my big brother died, so technically I'm older. And he right, because if they were ever to come back, they wouldn't come back at the age now. They would come back at their previous age. Like if God just like, hey man, you return back to your body, he gonna come back at his age when he passed away. So he would still be older. He'd be the older brother. Like so. That's fire line. But anyway.
Come and show you. Past the age that my big brother died, so technically I'm older. I ain't never ran no train. Them niggas know that they can't fall with me. I ain't from Ukraine, it's gonna be war. You think about rushing me? I walk up on the group, sound like a 20 versus 1, and I ain't even say a word. They must have thought that I was ugly. Like pop, 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 Glock. Hold by 30 shots till the chopper start. I'm not finna say a lot. I grab it, hear it, and toss it in the air. So listen up. I'm born to be a winner, passing out air like I'm Mrs. Puff.
That's fire. I'm born to be a winner, passing out air like I'm Mrs. Puff. That was fire. You know, everybody watch SpongeBob.
Toss it in the air, so listen up. I'm born to be a winner, passing out air like I'm Mrs. Puff. Tell them when I pass, I want no fucking repass. I don't want nobody eating. Y'all supposed to be sad. I had to cut some niggas off because they were holding me back. My bitch started sharing her location. I don't know where she at. Hey. Me who she put Kudo on, told her fuck that lingerie. Let me see you put that moo on. It's gonna be alright. Remember all the times I was doing wrong. My sister hair don't grow, and now my favorite ex is moving on like fuck.
That's funny you put that in there about her sister. I know she was probably like, why you put that in there? But and then he was fighting with her in the video. He was play fighting. That's funny. My sister hair don't grow, and now my favorite ex is moving on like fuck. That when I pass, I don't want no repass. I don't want nobody eating. Y'all supposed to be sad. I had to cut some niggas off because they was holding me back. My bitch stopped sharing her location. I don't know where she at. Yeah, man. That is fire. That shit fire, man. He rocking. Let's finish it out.
Now I'm right back locking in. I was so damn broke, I was serving dough. The boy, your pockets thin. Brenda, that grandson got a handgun, but bring no choppers in. You say you in the field, but I was there and you did not attend. I'm hot again, I pop again. This motion, I won't stop again. You told me you was having beef for real, bro. It's not pretend. Hey, go ahead, bring them doctors in. Like a hot head just did a perm. All these bad bitches after me. Everybody gon' get a turn. I know them what concern. You come right this way, you get burned. I'm spinning shit like I'm big worm. I'm big worm. I'm big worm. Put that down right on track, bitch. I'm TTG more than Thomas. A pretty bitch, long hair, I'm a hot lab, Pocahontas. Off the force since a young in the streets to fuck up my conscience. What no choice in the matter, this shit like written response. talking about 2x4. Fully auto, don't care who I blow. Serving white girl, you just can't let Dr. Umar know.
I like that. I like that. Serving white girl, you just can't let Dr. Umar know. I'm talking fully auto. I don't care who I blow. Serving white girl, you just can't let Dr. Umar know. Yeah, that was fire. That was fire. Bitch, I'm burning that grandson. I hop out with a handgun. I don't want to review that trash ass video. So we might just move on to some other shit. Hey man, we might watch. Don Lemon bumps into me at Chicago. Let's see this. I've been watching the dude Cam Higbee lately.
Can I ask you guys something? Would you ever just
pause it? I've been watching the dude Cam Higbee lately. I've been looking into I'm gonna have to definitely see this Amala video. I like how he debates. You know, he doesn't seem to be too wild with his shit. The Liberty Hangout girl, I did a video on her, a live stream on her recently. I don't like how she goes at it because, like, after people walk away, she's still following them, asking questions like, "Yo, they already said they done. They don't want to talk to you, man. It's over with. Like, stop pressing them. Like, it's over with, you know." And no disrespect, that's how things happen. I'm not saying that it should happen. I'm not saying anything should happen to anybody. But that is how things happen. People feel like, "Oh, why you keep bothering me and shit?" And then, you know, boom, 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 fist the cuffs or something like that, you know. And then, I'm not saying anything should happen to anybody, but that's how things happen when you keep going behind them and like provoking them and shit. Like, yo, they said whatever they said. I'm cool with you if you get questioned back. You throw 2 questions back out there. If they come back, all right, but don't follow them. Don't turn the corner with them. Let them go. Let them go. And she can't say that she don't follow them because I've been seeing it on multiple videos where you have. So that ain't cool. Cam Higbee, I ain't found out. I ain't seen nothing about him that I don't necessarily like. You know, I only listened to really 1 or 2 of his videos, and it wasn't him. But some of those other people could have came back with some better points. The ones that were rebutting him. You know, but we think about what we think about in the moment. You know, the difference is he has this fully rehearsed. He knows what he may not know what he's going to say, but he knows all the talking points, all the points that he's going to get to. And you're just doing your day. You're not even thinking about this. And then this pops up. So, you know, and it's normal human to want to debate or explain your point or say your side or see what, if it say, ask me anything or tell me why I'm wrong. That's normal human behavior to, you know, go and talk about it. But, you know, he just got all his facts lined up at that point when he came to sit down. So it's hard to debate with somebody that's not prepared. And it's hard to debate with somebody that is prepared. You know, if 2 people come and, you know, we're just talking about sports and, you know, and it's not like it's just a talk and going back and forth, whatever, or we're sitting at the table and we're just going back and forth about politics. It's a whole different thing when somebody study this and know everything that, you know, is already going to come out the person's mouth. So that's the only problem. He has a lot of debates with people that aren't as knowledgeable as him, but that's not his fault, you know. So let's see.
sit down and listen to something that he's saying, and would you ever just sit down and listen to
Don, nice to meet you.
Oh my gosh. And he's with me. My own people hate me. Yes. How are you?
Go ahead.
So would you ever like sit down and have a conversation?
I sit down with people like him all the time and have conversations with them. Yeah.
But
he came up to me hostile, and the first thing he said to me was I was racist. So I began asking him, why am I racist? What have I done that's racist? He couldn't tell me anything. He doesn't even know what my ideals are. I asked him. He doesn't know what my ideals are.
You're okay with this.
He doesn't know me at all.
You're okay with this.
Somebody told him I'm racist, and he came up and started calling me racist. And then he started freaking out.
They pointed your ass off the crowd.
So are you with Turning Point USA?
I contract for them, but I'm not working for them today.
What do you mean your contract with them?
Like I contract report for Turning Point, but I'm not working for them today.
You're a member of Turning Point.
No, I just contract
Everybody knows
report
who you are.
sometimes.
I'm sorry.
I just contract report for them sometimes, but I'm not today. I'm not in Turning Point capacity right now.
Okay.
I'm not with Turning Point right now. No.
Were you guys a part of the scuffle that happened over there? Because that what people were telling us that
I
it
haven't
was
seen any
some of you
scuffles
guys on the other side.
No.
You guys who are wearing the press vest. You're not.
No, we weren't in the scuffle.
I haven't seen any scuffles today.
So would you ever talk to these? Or do you
Talk to
think
these type of people all the time.
you think he's racist?
His ideals are.
What are my ideals?
Your ideals are. Do you align with a Trump?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a fucking known racist.
No, he's not.
What has he done
Yes,
that's
he-
racist?
No, he's not.
He's done a lot that has been racist.
Name
What?
one example.
They got to stop coming with that point. But I don't believe. Let me explain my point fully. I don't believe in racist. I just believe in hate. You know what I mean? You guys come in with all these different terms and isms and shit like that. If it's hate, it's hate. Now, you know, Trump has had some stuff in the past, you know, in the 80s, way before he became, in the 80s and 90s, way before he became a president, that was very questionable, very controversial. Could be on the borderline of hateful. Could be hateful because your employees that work for your hotel and your casino should be able to use the bathroom, but you're telling them that they got to go to the one bathroom all the way on the other side, or they got to go to out the doors and go to a different establishment to use the bathroom. That ain't right. That ain't right. And from what I was hearing, it was just the employees that weren't, you know, pasty, for a better word to put it. So, like I said, you had some stuff questionable. Now, people like to say that, oh, they didn't say Donald Trump was racist or hateful against people until he became the president. Really, I believe that stuff came up once he started becoming the president. Because once you become the president, all your background comes up. We know him, Donald Trump, on being the shows and Apprentice and all that stuff like that. So we had no reason to check his background about that stuff. We know Trump from the Trump casinos. We had no reason to check his background on what was going on unless you already knew or unless you heard some stories. Now, also with the Central Park 5, he still believes to this day that they did it, even though DNA tests proved it. Now, that's a little that I can't speak for because that is wrong. You know, DNA tests prove that they didn't do it. And he's still like these 5, you know, black and Hispanic, you know, still did it. And he took out an ad in the paper saying they still did it, even though it was proved that they did wrong. And I believe they had the killer's confession. They had the killer's confession saying they did it, and he knew details that only the killer would know. So that's how it wasn't DNA testing. It's like the killer confessed. And they still did time in prison and stuff where they let him go. So, you know, I can't forgive that at all. But what I can say is he does seem more America first than these other possible presidents or some of the presidents in the past. Now, why you need a president like that is because no matter what country you live in, you want him to value your country first. I don't get why that is so hard for people to understand. Like, you guys don't realize how good you got it here, because go to another country and think you're going to fly a Mexican flag like that and watch how quickly they pull your ass up out of there. Go somewhere else and show that. I mean, I only do that shit in America. Go somewhere else and riot against the agents in that country and watch how fast they move your ass up out of there. But because y'all like to be like, oh, America is the land of the free, blah, blah, blah. America is a democracy. It's not a free country. It's a democracy. There's still rules you got to follow here. There's still policies. There's still things you got to do. And illegal immigrants should not be coming in illegally. And then if you're coming in illegally and then committing crimes and killing people, you guys should be on your best behavior. You guys should be flying under the radar. But no, you guys are flying way above the radar. So that's on y'all. That's on y'all. And like I say, when it comes to this immigration issue with Trump, hey, that ain't got nothing to do with me. Because when it had something to do with my skin tone, these people weren't out there. They were in the house playing their music, drinking their beer, talking about, hey, that ain't got nothing to do with me. So that's the same way I feel about y'all.
stereotype Mexicans.
Where did he do that?
Central Park 5. When did he do that? When did he not do that? You want me to pull up the fucking clip?
Yeah. What
You want me to pull up the clip?
I would get in on this, but this is not my argument.
What did he do?
Same thing Don Lemon said. This is not my argument. That immigration ain't got nothing to do with me.
Yeah. He demonized young black men
who he thought were murderers. Yeah.
Who he thought were murderers. Why? Because he stereotyped the fuck out of them. And what happened in that case? What happened in that case? They're all fucking innocent.
Okay, he was wrong about something.
He was wrong.
But let's see what he brings up after that.
People get wrongly accused.
Oh, see, they let him talk too soon. The rest of the crowd started talking too soon. Once he say he was wrong about that, okay, and you know what your president did? He didn't admit he was wrong. He took out a full ad in the paper talking about how all the reasons why he believes that they still did it, even though the killer confessed. Now that is an issue. Because once you're proven wrong and you're still staying on that, now that is an issue. See, the rest of the crowd started talking too quick, and this guy had stopped talking, which means he probably didn't even know that point. I know that point. And this was before I was born. I still know that. So you gotta finish your argument. You can't just stop there. You gotta finish. You gotta go all the way through. Because then they ain't got nothing, they won't have nothing to come back from that. Because okay, well, this is what your president did. After we found out he was wrong, he didn't say, I'm wrong. I admit I'm wrong. He ain't got to apologize. And then I admit I'm wrong. No, he doubled down and tripled down on it, took out a full page ad in the newspaper talking about how he was right. That's unexcusable. That's unforgivable. And the killer confessed. He shared details that only the killer would know. Stuff that the Central Park 5 didn't even know. Now that's unexcusable. That's the only thing they could come back to me and say. That's unexcusable. If they say anything else, then they just sticking on their points. But I like people that debate, that can listen to what is being told, take the information in, understand it, and then speak out. Don't just be ready to say what you want to say. I don't like people like that. I don't like people the second I stop talking, because the second other people stop talking, I'm not like, okay, then blah, 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 blah. No, I'm like, give me a second. I'm going to take a second, hear what you say, process it, say something back. Unless I'm like dumb drunk, then, hey, it'll go off the rails. But if I'm not, I'm be listening.
I've been wrong about things. Don has been wrong about things.
And you just defended that shit. You knew about that shit and you defended it. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
They were the
Let me ask you something.
guys
You think
support them
someone
until
who
you get
called
fucking proved wrong.
for the death of people who have been exonerated and in the paper, you don't think that's
You're talking about Central Park 5?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not an expert on Central Park 5 situation, obviously.
You know about it.
Happened before I was born, probably. When was it?
That's why you're fucking back.
Happened before I was born. I don't know the details of I don't know the details of that case specifically, but it was before they were exonerated.
You do, and I'm pretty sure you fucking talk about it all the
then they
time
asked him to apologize. He never apologized
on your racist ass channel.
Okay.
And he took out a huge ad in the paper saying why he believes they were still wrong. We can't forget that part, Don.
He never took back.
And then I don't agree with Donald Trump on everything. I'd say, well, then maybe he should apologize, but that's fine.
You agree with him about the part where he came down the escalator and said,
Okay, I got respect for him to be able to say that.
People from Mexico or rapists. He got called murderers.
MS-13. He was talking about MS-13.
Shame!
No, he didn't. He said he was talking specifically in the context of MS-13.
Shame!
If you want to do an interview, Don, we can do it.
I think people should see. We're live. I think people should see what's happening while it's up. He said, and some of them I would imagine are good people.
Some of them. Correct. Yes.
Some of them I would imagine.
Yes, some of them are good people. Yeah, but
some of them I would imagine.
He was talking. He was talking in the context of MS-13, whose motto, by the way, is "Kill, Steal, Rape, Control."
Yeah, I don't think you're right about it. I don't think he was talking about MS-13. I think he would have said
MS-13.
I think he would have said MS-13. He didn't say.
He was talking in the context of MS-13. So, like, if I ask you right now to say something about MS-13, if I ask you right now to say something about MS-13, are you going to reiterate MS-13?
No. Let me just say, he was running for office. He was announcing a run for office. He never mentioned MS-13. So what evidence do you have that he was talking about MS-13?
I can't pull up evidence right now because I'm live. But like,
why
I'd
are
love
you
to
arguing it if you don't know the evidence? He was. I watched the entire speech.
I can't pull it up for you, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yes, but he did not say MS-13.
Exactly. He was speaking in the
He said
context.
they're bringing crime.
He didn't mention
They're bringing drugs. They're
time.
bringing crime. They're rapists, and some of them, I imagine, are good people. That's the quote. He never said anything about MS-13.
Hold up. So let's for a second assume that he was not talking about MS-13. What's the problem with the quote?
All right, this got nothing to do with the video. Just this comment down here. They're all liars. All Trump supporters defend and lie for Trump like they're married to him. It's crazy. He literally just said 2 minutes ago, if that, I don't agree with Trump on everything, and I do believe he should apologize for that. So he's not defending him on everything. He doesn't know. He said he doesn't know about this because it was before he was born. It was like before I was born. The only reason I know about it is because I like to go into history and look into this stuff. Secondly, isn't that all people that voted for the president? Because I remember all the people that voted for voted for Biden and Kamala, and they were saying everything that Kamala did was perfect. Everything that Biden did was perfect. They wasn't saying nothing bad about him. They wasn't saying nothing bad about Kamala. Isn't that for anybody who votes for the president? For the most part, because most of y'all can't admit when you're wrong. I'm pretty sure this Mercedes Teagle may be the same person. I'm pretty sure you can't admit when you're wrong about, or when you voted for this person or this person you liked or whatever, and they were wrong. I mean, I can say that all the time. You know what I mean? There's nobody, unless it's my immediate family, or it's my some of my uncles or something like that. There's very few people where I just agree with them. Or, I got to understand you. I got to know you solid. There's very few people, even some of them, there's things that they do where they say that I don't agree with. Like, so just say you don't agree with it. First of all, you spelled liars wrong. How the fuck do you spell liars wrong? You don't even know English. Oh my God, stupid.
Some of them, I imagine, are good people. That's the quote. He never said anything about MS-13.
Hold up. So let's for a second assume that he was not talking about MS-13. What's the problem with the quote?
What's the problem?
Yes.
You're qualifying a whole group of people as bringing drugs and crimes and rapists.
You just admitted that he admitted some of them are good people. But do you deny that Mexican cartels are coming up from Mexico and bringing gangs and rape and drugs? There's enough fentanyl that comes across this border every single
America's
year
filled with
to kill
gangs.
every American by overdose.
What you're doing.
That's not true. America didn't create gangs. America did not create gangs. There's been gangs back in Italy. There's been gangs, wrong. They used to call them the mafia. The Irish. Stop it. You used to call them mafia. We created maybe the term gangs, G-A-N-G-S, but y'all used to call them something else. So don't act like there ain't been people fighting on different sides all over the world for thousands of years. Fuck is y'all talking about, man? So this one of those things where motherfuckers just be. But I do agree. The cartel is a fucking gang. And they've been around longer than the Bloods and the Crips. So what are we talking about here? All the different cartels. They got Sinaloa cartel, this cartel, that cartel in Mexico. But no, look. I do believe that the illegal immigrants should not be in this country. I don't care who got anything to say to me about it. My mother's side of the family came here from Jamaica, back in the 70s, but all their paperwork was done. They didn't just like, oh, the paperwork's not done yet. Let's get on a plane and come over here. No. All their paperwork was done before they came over here. And if it wasn't done before they came over here, who wouldn't be talked about? Them. Because they will lay low. They know how to lay low. They know how to work, get a job, take care of the family, and be quiet until everything is right. So, but there are a lot of illegals here doing illegal activity. And Biden was letting them back out, And Biden was letting them back out like it was cool. Obama was letting them out like it was cool. And Trump was like, nah, we ain't doing that no more. We sending y'all home. Now, the one thing I will say about Trump, I heard about recently, he deported somebody because obviously they were illegal, and he sent them to the wrong fucking country. That's crazy. Send them to the right country. I think the guy was from Venezuela, and he sent them to Mexico. Send them to the right country, bro. What is he even supposed to do over there in Mexico? He ain't even got no family over there. He don't even know nothing about Mexico. So he probably gonna try to sneak back into America. And because you sent them to the wrong country. And that's crazy. Don't just send them anywhere. Send them to where they're supposed to go.
No, as you're looking,
The first gangs were fucking white to European gangs.
the cops are here.
That's a lie. That's a lie. And if they were white European, that means that's over in Europe, you fucking idiot. That's not America.
Here, we gotta get behind the barriers.
Everyone get behind the barriers.
No, the reason that people think it's racist is because he didn't say immigrants are good people who actually contribute to our society. But hang on,
He knows this.
hold on, let me get my thought out. He didn't say, immigrants are good people and they contribute to society. They pay into an income tax system or a healthcare system that they get no benefits from, and we need to
Because they don't pay into the system. If they're illegal, they don't pay into taxes. What are you talking about, Don? That's not true at all. If you're illegal, you're getting paid under the table. You're not paying no taxes. So how could they pay into a system that they don't benefit from? You're not making sense. They don't benefit from it because they don't pay into the system. So that's all I'm saying. Like, Don, that's not making sense right there.
both.
I don't agree with that.
Yes, no, yes,
It
undocumented.
goes for Trump. It goes without saying. He's an illegal immigrant himself. Undocumented immigrants. Look at the House Committee on Budget. The net fiscal drain of an illegal immigrant is $68,000 per
But
person.
undocumented immigrants do pay into the system.
They do, but not enough to offset the amount of social welfare they use. The House Committee on Budget did a report on this with the
Not
Center of
enough to
Immigration
offset the
Studies.
amount of social
Net fiscal
welfare that
drain is
Americans use. That documented
You finish, but you don't let me respond. The net fiscal drain of an illegal immigrant, according to the House Committee on Budget, is $68,000 per person. The formula for that is social welfare used minus taxes paid.
You're not factoring in the number of Americans who are documented who drain the system. That's way more than people who are documented or
Not
undocumented.
illegals or illegals.
Because it's very relevant. Because you're only because
It's not relevant. You moving the goalposts. It's not relevant. You moving the goalposts, Don.
because it's important to have a conversation about people who are Americans who are documented who drain this system as well.
No,
Of course, you support
you
legal
were
immigration.
wasted last
Right, and the
night.
president is an immigrant. So, like, what's the point here?
The president is not an immigrant.
He's a second-generation immigrant. His wife is a first-generation immigrant. All of his children are
parents
second-generation
were
immigrants.
immigrants.
He's a second-generation immigrant.
No, that's not how that works. His parents were immigrants. Once he's born here, he's American. That's not how that works. That's not how that works, little man. Cam, that's not how that works. Parents were immigrants. I mean, once you're born here, you're American. That's why they had a whole bunch of immigrants back in 2010s when Obama was here, coming over here to try to have their kids born here. That way they could stay here. Call them sanctuary babies or sanctuary cities, something like that. So, and because their kids are American citizens, that would, whatever.
That's like saying that. It's like saying that I am.
His wife is a first-generation.
That's like saying that
All
I
his
am.
children are
Okay, so he's a descendant of an immigrant, but
He's a
not an
second-generation immigrant.
Okay, that's like saying
His
that I'm
wife
an
is a
enslaved person.
first-generation immigrant.
You would say that I'm an enslaved person.
No,
No,
it's not,
I'm a
because you're
descendant
not
of an.
two generations away from an enslaved person.
How do you know?
Because nobody was enslaved 2 generations ago.
Yes, they were. There were people who were enslaved and indentured servants.
Yeah, there definitely was, because you're making it seem like everybody gets to 50 and die. There's some people that live to be 100. There's some people that live to be 120. So it was only so many years ago. What is it? We're in 2025. Let me see when slavery ended for America. That's something good to look at. Let's share this tab instead. When did end for America? (1865). That's when it was abolished. But when did Juneteenth was the last date that the slaves got freed? So, when did Juneteenth start? There we go. Mm, 1866. Oh, maybe, yeah. Maybe he got a point. Montclair State University, Jersey. Okay. I thought it was 19. I thought it was the 1900s, like 1930. But then also we had those this is the problem with that, because stupid ass computer. That's the problem. It's 1866, and then Jim Crow began shortly after in the 1880s and was still there to 1960. So we were still in type of enslavement with the Jim Crow laws. You know, we were still in a type of enslavement with the Jim Crow laws. So maybe, you know, he got a point to be like, hey, there's no way you could be a second generation from enslaved, but Jim Crow laws, you know, pretty damn close. Mm-hmm.
2 generations ago.
Did you ever go to the South and see 2 generations ago?
Slavery was.
Well, I don't know, because they, you know, but they said what they said based off DuckDuckGo was 1865, 1866, but then the Jim Crow laws came in 7 years after that. So we only had 7 years technically to be free, and then the Jim Crow laws put us all back in that box again. And that sucked. So, but I'm gonna go past it.
In the North, slavery was abolished in 1804, 5 years before Lincoln was even born.
It wasn't abolished in 1804.
And in the South,
we just checked it up that it wasn't abolished in 1804.
It was abolished in 1860.
There were
was your mother a slave?
My mother was born in the 40s. My grandmother was born in the early 1900s, and before that,
was she a slave? Were either of them a slave?
Yes, no, but my great grandmother was a slave.
No, they're not. Donald Trump is a second.
Oh my God! You're gonna tell me what my great grandmother was a slave?
She wasn't a chattel slave. Chattel slavery.
How you gonna tell him what he wasn't, man? See, that's the problem with people that look pasty like him. They be trying to tell you about your own fucking history. I'm sorry, is this my history or your history? You gonna tell me what my family is? Maybe that wasn't the way for somebody else's family that looked like Don Lemon, but maybe that was the way for Don Lemon's family. I mean, he's telling you about his personal family. He says mother was born in the 40s. His grandmother was born in the early 1900s. So yeah, his great grandmother would have been a slave. That was the time period. What are you talking about, bro? I mean, I hate when motherfuckers do that. Try to tell you my history. How you gonna tell me my fucking family history, motherfucker? This is my family. You worry about your family history. People that do that shit be so fucking weird.
Charlie Kirk.
Chattel slavery was abolished.
Now you're qualifying what slavery is. It's chattel or whatever. And there were people who were indentured servants as well after that. And you realize people did not know that they were actually free from slavery until some years later, because they weren't allowed to say
Take
it.
off your jacket. I'm sure you're wearing a fucking schnazi fucking.
I'm not.
Oh, Lord. Anyways, so you would sit down with him and talk. But you've been talking to me, but you don't let me get my statement
Well, it's hard. First of all, it's hard to hear you.
Both of y'all doing the same thing, to be honest. For me, the reason why you're calling him out now, because he called you out, Don, in like 3 minutes ago. He was like, yo, if you keep talking when I'm trying to get my statement out, we can't have a debate, you know. So now you're calling him out trying to say he's not letting you get your statement out. So it's tit for tat right now.
Second of all, I think you have also have not let me get my statements out as well. If you want to go somewhere quieter, I'm happy to have a dialogue.
I'm on live. I don't have enough time.
I'm happy to have a civil dialogue with you. I'm actually traveling the country right now and having sit-down conversations.
Don, why couldn't you just go across the street to like right here? You know, you talking about you on live. You can still be on live. You want to have an actual conversation, go across the street. Talk that motherfucker across the street where it's a little bit more quieter.
Conversations with
Team
people.
Charlie Kirk.
But you're not the Turning Point USA supporter, or you don't belong to the organization. You said you.
Bro, these motherfuckers, all y'all is like women, bro. All y'all is like women, man. Y'all need to be right. Y'all insult each other. Come with some stupid ass attacks. Team Charlie Kirk. First of all, that's not even funny. That's not even funny. And I know a lot of these motherfucking supporters gonna be like, it is funny. It is funny. It's not fucking funny. It's not fucking funny. All y'all making jokes about when Charlie Kirk died, not funny. That's not cool at all. Like, what is wrong with y'all? But this is the area where we've come to in America, because parents don't teach their fucking kids no more how to fucking act in public and around people, and teach you that just because you got a fucking hat on that says MAGA on it, just because you don't agree with it, does not give you the right to run over there and go hit somebody with a bat. Also, you know, people don't know how to have a conversation anymore. You can disagree with a motherfucker. Don't mean like I gotta hate you. I just disagree with you. Oh shit! My guy just scored on ESPN on the fantasy shit. Third, people don't know how to act in public. I think I said that already. But yeah, that insulting shit, like, it just makes you look bad. You know what I mean? Y'all making fun of somebody's death, like, that's not cool at all. Like, not at all. So this is where we at to in America, where people ain't got no common decency. That's the best word for it. They ain't got no common decency, and it don't have to be like this. But where we're at now, I mean, that's why Trump trying to tell y'all go back to y'all country and have no common decency over there. Don't come over here where you talking about I'm coming for a better life and then not have common decency over here. Go not have common decency back at the country that you ain't want to be at.
Well, of course I support Turning Point. I contract report for them. Like I go to protests and do coverage for them. I'm not doing that right now.
Upholding white cheese supremacy right here.
I didn't hear what you said.
This is what we have to deal with in this country.
I said, of course I support Turning Point. I contract report for them sometimes, but I'm not currently doing that. Like, I'm not out here for Turning Point right now.
Pretty big in it out
Thank you. How are folks receiving you out here? How have you been received out here?
Well, actually, some people I've had really good conversations with. Like, there's a transgender individual out here somewhere, and she's a journalist as well. And she's come over and had several conversations with me. We just sit down and we talk. When it's quieter, it's much easier to have discussions back and forth where we hear each other out and stuff like that. But
why did you come?
Why did I come to document? Yeah, talk to people as well.
Not to get in arguments with people.
Well, I do like to have discussions with people. Yeah.
And what about you?
Yeah, we're on the same tour. We work together, and we're going around to different college campuses debating people.
How old are you?
23 years old.
From
Texas.
What's your background?
My background is just an online conservative influencer.
Are you Latino?
No. No. I know I look a little brown, but I'm not.
You're not a brown person.
No.
Are you sure?
I have a DNA test.
Talk to your parents and your grandparents. I'm just saying.
I'm sure I'm half British, and the other parts are German.
And back 2 generations ago, when people were slaves, a lot of people passed so that they could, become white. And you never know. You might have some African American.
I'm white. I did a DNA test. But yeah.
What does that mean? You're white. What are you? European?
Yeah, European, okay. Germanic, Wales, Ireland.
So you're European American. You're not white. You're European American.
Yeah, white, European American.
Same thing, man. That's the same fucking thing. If you want to be technical. Yeah, we don't try to hit them with the bullshit. If you want to be honest, white and black and all these fucking terms don't mean shit. But if that's what they going off of, that's what they mean. It's the same fucking thing.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, guys. So, anyways, there's the conversations they're having. I got sucked into that conversation, but anyway.
All right, that's enough of the Donald. I mean, that's enough of the Don right there. The Don Lemon. Enough of the Don Lemon.
As we all know, there is no place where leftists won't make a statement. We see them do it at universities. We see them do it at political events. We see them super glue their hands to Starbucks counters or to highways, stopping people from going across.
Wait, y'all super glued your hands to Trader Joe's to stop people for what? He super glued his hand there to stop people from. What type of weird ass shit is that? I would never try to glue my hand to somebody to get a stick stuck.
We've seen them throw soup at Van Gogh paintings, but today, I think we're going to see the ultimate virtue signal.
What was the issue? Why did they throw soup at the Van Gogh painting? What did that got to do with anything?
It's a woman who decides to do it at her own wedding. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, you better.
Online of a young woman who decides to do the
I ain't gonna lie to you, that's a cute chick right there. Almost a cute chick.
Ultimate virtue signal, and that is the virtue signal at your wedding. That's right. She is the bride. She is addressing everybody who has decided to come to her wedding to celebrate her love, and she's going to make it about trans rights and Palestine.
Everyone should be able to have a day like today, and I don't mean with all this sort of thing. I mean a day surrounded by loved ones.
Okay. Let's just, I know she just did all this. And of course she's saying, we spend a lot of money on these things and these are material things at the end of the day for our wedding. But look at how flippantly she's just addressed the entire production that has gone into her wedding, one that she signed up for, one that she presumably planned. And she just looks at it and goes, all this.
I feel you.
Not for me, but
let me just hear the rest.
wholeheartedly support us and our relationship with no judgment. We are in a relationship that is simultaneously celebrated by random strangers who find out we're engaged, but also is so mainstream that no one bats an eyelid if we were to walk down the street hand in hand. We are not ostracized by society for simply being who we are and loving who we love. Everyone should get to feel how that feels. Transgender people are being punished for simply being who they are, and we must speak up. We are losing.
Before she go into that, the reason why nobody looks at y'all going down the street because you're a man and a woman is fucking normal. The reason why they may look at two transgenders going down the street because they're trying to figure out what the fuck is going on here. And the reason why people may look at two men walking down the street or two women walking down the street because that is not the norm of society. You know, people are starting to be more into this LGBT community, but really I believe it's only like 1%, 2%, maybe let's say 5% of people at the most. Like that's still not a normal part. Like, you know, they're trying to make it seem like it's normal, but it's not, because you know, everybody, they'll sit up there and lie to you, but they'll go back and they'll fuck around and be like, oh, you know, I'm a Catholic, I'm a Christian, I'm this and that. But all they books fucking say a man and a woman. The reason all of us are here is because of a man and a woman. So that's always going to be the norm in society, you know. And just because you're walking down the street and people are looking at you crazy, fuck them, man. If they don't do nothing to me, then I don't give a fuck if they looking at me. You can look at me all you want, man. It's dope. As long as ain't nobody try to come over here and harm me, then that's different. Somebody come over here and try to harm me, then I might have to harm you back. But I don't wish that on nobody.
Hard fought for ground, and we simply cannot yield to hatred. Trans men are men, trans women are women, trans rights are fucking human rights.
No, man. Trans men are not men. Trans men are trans men. Trans women are not women. Trans women are trans women. That's for the reason why we put trans in front of it. If they were just women, we would say women. But we're putting trans in there for a reason. They transitioned from where they were originally into a woman. You know, they got it cut off. They got it pushed up in there, whatever. You know what I mean? I don't know. They pulled something out. I don't know. Look, and no, human rights and trans rights, I guess, are two different things. I don't know, because, you know, that's why they're labeled human rights, you know. I mean, it's not like slaves didn't ask for black rights or enslaved rights. We just asked for the fucking regular rights that everybody else was getting, you know. So maybe trans should ask for the regular rights that everybody else was getting, like the basic stuff. I don't know. That's a toughy one. That's a tough one. I have to look into that a little bit more. But I guess, you know, I guess it stays in the name. Trans rights and human rights are two different. But anyway, you know, it's like human rights and the rights of animals are two different things. Does that make sense? Because if you go and murder a human, you're going to jail. Hopefully, that's for the most part. You're going to go to jail. But if you're out there in the wild and you kill a deer and you come back, you know, I mean, ain't nobody taking you to jail for that unless that deer was endangered in that area or something like that. So it's two separate things.
Look at that little smile that appears across her face. And it's like the smile of, I know my virtue signal just hit and I know the crowd is rocking with what I with what I just had to say. What it's really communicating is that she's not here to make a statement at her wedding about trans people. She's not here to necessarily protect trans people. And I wonder in her own life what she is doing on the issue, but I can't speak to that. Maybe she is doing a lot. But what she really just wanted to do in that moment is to show everybody else.
One of these days, even that's a crazy picture to stop on. I don't want you. There you go. One of these days, I'm gonna do a screen with Amala. You know what I mean? Like, she used to have Taylor in the background, and I think she need a brother, you know what I mean, over there, shit like that. Like, Taylor was fire, and I wouldn't mind if Taylor come back, and it could be me, Amala, and Taylor. Like, that'll be dope. They just need somebody with a little extra, like a little bit more like an extra different point, you know, a different point of view to come around. Because I guess why they got Amala, well, this Amala's show, but you know what I mean, Amala, Taylor, you know, obviously we got the we got the girl, we got the boy. I mean, and then I'm another dude coming from a different perspective. So Amala is father. I think her father's African, her mom white, something like that. Her mom's on the. She talked about it before, how her mom was a Democrat and shit. And then Taylor, white man from Tennessee or European, whatever the fuck you want to call him. And then obviously I'm a brown skinned brother from Jersey originally, but now I live in Florida. So I can give it a different perspective, you know what I mean? So that's why I would like to go on there and have a stream with her one time or two. Stream with her one time or two. It'll be dope. I wish I could apply for it. I wish you would let people up to apply for it. I might have to write to her or something like that. But I probably ain't got enough views for that. She's like,
one of the most important moments of her life.
That'd be crazy if she hit me with the nah, nigga, you ain't got enough views. Be like, damn, I'm gonna let you say that shit like that. She like, yeah, you just see me on screen. I'm a real ass mother because she is from Orlando. She probably hit me with some real ass shit like that. Nah, nigga, you ain't got enough views.
Which is her very own wedding. I guess it's supposedly one of the most important days of your life. And she's going to dedicate that to trans people instead of herself, which in reality, if we do the math, she's really dedicating it to virtue signaling and showing how great of a person she thinks she is. There's layers to this. This is an onion. There's layers to this.
Alongside their demonization of trans people, our government and media is currently also complicit in a genocide. And I know some of you may think a wedding is not the time to think of this.
Like, watch as she says this. Watch. I'm going to go back and I'm going to show you where she says our government is complicit in a genocide, and see the smile that is on her face as she's saying it, which just goes to show you, not that she's supporting genocide, of course, but that she is so happy.
She's feeling herself.
About.
She's feeling herself. We get it.
And I know their demonization of trans people, our government and media is currently also complicit in a genocide. And I know some of you may think a wedding is not the time to think of this, but it frankly would not sit right with me to not take this opportunity when I have a platform to speak on this issue.
The platform being your wedding? Like, what's the platform here? It's not making sense to me. You're with a group of people.
It's not a platform, but she's able to speak to it, to a multiple of people, and she wants to get her point out, wants to get her feelings out. One of the reasons why I make these YouTube videos, I want to get my feelings out. So she want to get her wedding, she want to get her feelings out. Fuck it.
Who presumably signals technology issues, platforms on, I guess, are important issues. I agree with her on, like, what?
The ethnic cleansing of the Palestinian people is a horror that cannot be ignored. We cannot succumb to hatred. We have to appease, we have to speak up, or we will be lost, all of us. All this love has to be good for something beyond our immediate surroundings. And then George said the mics cost £5,000. I was going to do a mic drop, and then I asked George, and George said the mics cost £5,000, so I'm not going to do that. So yeah, in short, I love Matthew, free Palestine, and trans rights are human rights. Enjoy your main.
Okay.
I ain't mad at her. At least she said, she loved her husband, and that was the first thing she said. Like, in theory, she loved her husband. Palestine, I agree with Palestine that they need to end the war. And the trans right thing, I believe a lot of them motherfuckers is crazy, but if they want to cut off their junk and wear dresses, then that's on them. Just don't be mad when I fuck around and I say sir because I'm looking at you, and it's a dude, like, hey man, and then I'm not the one to call somebody, like, if it's a dude, clearly a dude, and he's walking around in a dress, he's like, my pronouns is she, I'm not the one to call you she. It's not gonna happen. I'm gonna ask you what's your name. I can do that before I do any of that other stuff. What do you want to be called by? Oh, my name was originally, you ain't got to tell me what your original name was. You want to be called by Ruby? I'll call you Ruby, man. That's what you want to be called at? I knew this dude who was a straight up gay dude. He wasn't really gay dude. His name was like Jawan or something like that. He wanted everybody to call him Juicy. I'm not calling you Juicy, bro. That's one of the gayest things in the world. I'm not calling you Juicy. I think I ended up calling him Jay or Juice. I didn't call him Juice. I think I ended up calling him Jay. something like that. But I'm not calling you Juicy, dog. Like, if that's the name that you pick, come up with a different name, because that's the most gayest shit in the world. You know what I mean? Tell your dude that you dating to call you that, but I'm not calling you that at fucking work. And there's other people at work call them that. Not so much the people with my hue that was calling them that, but the Mexicans at work were, and they would make jokes. And I know they was joking about how him gay and him being all big and running around having people call him Juicy and shit. Cause I hear how they was making jokes and laughing about it, but they would go into their language. But I'm like, I can get the tone of what they're saying about it. So it's like, yeah, if you're like, if you look like this dude and you put on a dress and you're like, I want to be called Vivian. Fuck it. Okay, Vivian. Hey, man, I can call you Vivian. I can call you some shit like that. Look, I got a niece and a nephew right now that's 3, and they both think they're Spider-Man. And when I talk to them, hey, Uncle James, and I say their name, they're like, no, I'm Spider-Man. Oh, what's up, Spider-Man? I can go with that. You know what I mean? But I'm not calling you no Zay, no Zaire, no Lay, no she, not no he. If you're not that, you know what I mean? Nah, just say what your name is, and I'll call you by your name with no problem. But all this other stuff, I ain't doing that. And I stand on that, because I've been like that for a long time, and it's not changing. If there's one thing I am, I'm consistent. So hey, man, appreciate everybody, man. Again, peace, y'all. Y'all have a great day, have a great night, and peace, peace. Deuces. I gotta get my hairline tightened up. Man, we out of